Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing my August wrap up. So August has been a very good reading month for me. I've read quite a lot of books. It's been another month where I've read quite a lot or listened to a lot of books on audio due to my current obsession with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Listening to audio means that I can do that at the same time. I don't know when that's going to change. I'm quite enjoying it. So I'm enjoying listening to a lot of things on audio, which has meant that my reading taste has altered a little bit, but generally most of the things that I would have been reading anyway I've been reading on audio. Again, I have had quite a good month. I had one 5-star read, so just one, but that's okay. It's better than none. I had 13 4-star reads and 12 3-star reads, so I've had a lot of really good books this month, ones that I've just really enjoyed, got hooked on, I think, which is why I've ended up reading 26 books. I mean, that's a lot of books for me to read. I'm a little bit ashamed of myself, if I'm honest, because I told you on this channel I was going to make a concerted effort to read more Black authors. I have them on my shelf, and this month out of those 26, only 4 by Black authors, which just isn't good enough. So I'm going to be focusing my attention next month and just making it a more concerted effort. I think I just thought because they were on my shelf that I was going to be reading them more, but I've got loads of books on my shelves and I need to be reading those books and giving them more priority. So next month, hold me accountable for sure. September, I'm going to be focusing as much as I can on bringing those levels up and reading more books by Black authors. I have a fair stack of them on my shelf, so there's no excuse really. So I read, if you break it down by genre, quite an eclectic mix actually. I read 3 non-fiction, 1 manga, 2 graphic novels, 12 romance. So romance is still predominantly the leader at the moment. It just seems to be the genre that I'm veering towards. 3 YA, 2 general fiction, 2 science fiction and fantasy, and 1 short story collection. So there was a nice range in there, but romance really was the predominant genre in there. And I think that, you know, that's just where I'm lying at the moment. I do tend to be one of those people that sort of fixes on a genre for a while and then moves along occasionally. Normally it takes like a really good book in another genre and then I'm like onto that genre for a little while. So it's just, I'm happy to just go with the flow in that, and that's something that I'm really enjoying with my RuPaul Drag Race TBR game. It's allowing me to really sort of branch out and just pick what I'm in the mood for, because you're normally picking 4, occasionally 5 books for the TBR. It's a small TBR, so I'm not trying to set a monthly one. I find this much easier setting these small chunks of TBR, and those books are books that I want to read and I get to read sort of quite quickly, which means I don't have time to sort of veer off and feel like I want to be reading something else. And also it means that I can join in readathons and do other things on the side of it without feeling like, you know, I've got this humongous TBR and it's just getting away from me. So I'm really enjoying doing that. If you haven't watched my TBR game, the videos show me picking my drag queen. It shows the books that I've decided to pick up for that, and it also shows me talking about those books and talking about them in real time about what I thought about them. So it's worth checking those out because they are like wrap-ups. They wrap up all the books that I'm reading for those challenges, so it's worth checking them out if you like to hear my thoughts on the books. Let's go through the books that I read then. Starting from the 3 stars, Last Animal, Homework, It Ends With You, Serpent and Dove, Say Yes to the Marquess, On the Way to You, Smooth Talking Cowboy, Inside This Place Not of It, The Lido, The Art of French Kissing, Corrupt, and Blitzed. And then the 4 stars were Tokyo Tarariba Girls Volume 1, Skyward Volumes 2 and 3, Getaway Girl, Violent Delights, Violent Ends and Violent Triumphs, Cinderella is Dead, The Shelf, Acting on Impulse, Boyfriend Material, Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, and The Kiss Thief. So the 5-star read was Kill the Black One First. This is the story really of him growing up, of his life, of his journey into the police force, and it really does focus on race and racism within the police force and the things that Michael has come up against, not only being a policeman but also because of the colour of his skin. And I just thought it was a really enlightening read. I really enjoyed learning about his life in the police force, and it is we do learn a bit about his growing up and what sort of led him to the police force, which was very interesting. He's always been sort of interested in this sort of detective side. He was brought up in sort of a group home, and so that side was really fascinating. He doesn't delve really into his personal life during his time in the police force and his wife and his children and that side of it. It is more on his career, and I think that was really important, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it had a good balance there of finding out about him, his career, him moving up the ranks, what that was like as a black man moving up the ranks in the police force, the things that he came across, which I was just really gobsmacked and really saddened by the things that he had to go through. And it really does open your eyes. You think sort of people that have made it, you know, you really think that they've had a journey and they've made it, and you know, isn't that brilliant? But actually he came across a lot of things, and a man that wasn't as level-headed, hadn't had the same sort of upbringing and person in his life that really meant a lot to him, that taught him you know, how to be and how to sort of centre himself and to take a beat before he responded to things. Things could have been a lot different, and you know, it is a real testament to him, the way he handled situations, and also the fact that he didn't back down because times were hard and things were difficult. He went about things, and he took things where they needed to go to make sure that they were dealt with. It sounds a bit wishy-washy, and I'm trying not to go into too much detail because I think it's a really interesting book to read, and I definitely recommend it. So that was my 5-star read this month. Next month I'm taking part in a middle grade readathon, so I'm looking forward to reading those books. And I have still got my current RuPaul Drag Race. I've got 2 books left on that I am reading. I'll show you a little sneak peek. I'm reading Ritual, and I'm reading The Black Kit by Christina Hammond Reid. So these 2 books need to be finished before I can upload that video. I'm also buddy reading currently over sort of a few weeks Anger is a Gift by Mark Oshiro. This I'm reading with Tracy from Flamingo Reads. We do this, we read to each other a little bit and then we read a chunk for the week. And then I've got a couple of books that I'd quite like to get to. Well, one I'd really like to get to because it is for the final of the BookTube prize, and that is No Visible Bruises by Rachel Louise Schneider. This is a book about domestic violence. And then an audiobook that I've got that I'd really like to listen to is The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjane Kamali. I've heard this has got a similar sort of reading style to The Kite Runner and things like that by Khaled Hosseini, so I'm really looking forward to picking those up. And then I'm going to be focusing more on getting through some books on my shelves by black authors. I'm going to be prioritising those when it comes to picking my next RuPaul's Drag Race. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a good reading month. School goes back in a couple of days, so reading will be more challenging, but sometimes I think when you're busy that you find the time to do things. There's other things going on in our life which means that you know, reading is taking a bit more of a backseat at the moment. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you a bit more about that soon. And yeah, so it's been a good month, and I will do better, and I am looking forward to September and continuing to read and share with you my RuPaul's Drag Race TBR. We are halfway through now, I think, the drag queens, or nearly halfway through, so we're making good headway, and I can't wait to see who ends up at the end of this in my sort of all-stars cast for the grand finale. So there we go. Anyway, tell me what you've been reading in the comments down below, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.